Well, as the new year gets underway, KTV spoke to Grand Chief Joseph Tokwiro Norton to talk about 2016 and what he expects to happen in 2017.
One of the major areas is taxation. That's been an issue continuously for this community since we've been here, since Quebec has been in existence, and so on and so forth. So that really is a tough one to tackle, because potentially there's depending on the other side how aggressive they can be, meaning Quebec, there could be situations where they'll start expanding or trying to expand their grasp on all kinds of businesses here in the community that are servicing the non-native public. Okay, that's always been on people's minds. We've always looked at that as an issue, other than gasoline, alcohol, and tobacco. The big three. There's other things that are going on here that are of an attraction to non-native people. So, and government is there saying with their hand out, these are your clients, but there are people, and they have to comply with the laws. So that's a major issue that we have to sit down and come up with solutions. We've made it abundantly clear that we're not tax collectors, and we're not going to submit, taxes to them, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, with the issue of fuel, gasoline station owners, and we all know this, so it's nothing surprising. When you're going to open up a gas station, you have to get product from out of the territory. Therefore, you have to get a permit to be able to run that gas station, to get your product. And in doing so, there's a compliance, there's an issue of compliance. In other words, you have to comply with the law, which states you have to collect and remit taxes. And we've been able to hold that off going back to 1993, went to court, got an injunction against the province. Basically, they were told by the courts that you cannot cut off the retailer, the distributors from delivering to gasoline station owners in the community, but also gasoline station owners, you have to contribute something. So from there was a variety of percentages that each one decided they would contribute, and it was up to them to decide that. As long as they were contributing, it seemed like it was, it brought calm to the. But changes in governments, and all that, regulations, the need for the government to have more taxes, whatever else, changed that whole approach. And suddenly there was assessments, then a challenge, and a challenge has brought us to this point now where the appeal to the Supreme Court has been denied. So now, in other words, it's a fait accompli for the province. So now the political machinery has to kick in. And it's going to be our duty now to bring the province to the table. And we've started that process even prior to this judgment, because I think deep down inside we felt that they weren't going to win anyway. It's a fatalistic approach, but everything is stacked against you. And so we already started the process with the talking to the Premier on two occasions, sending letters, and whatever else, and saying that, regardless of what the decisions are in the lower courts as well as the upper courts, we're still going to continue to say we are not tax collectors, we will not submit. And on two occasions, meeting with the Minister of Finance, who's responsible for taxation across the board, we've said the same thing to him too. And he understood that, didn't agree with us, but understood that, this is the circumstances, and historically, traditionally, we were opposed to always paying taxes. So we have to find a solution. And the table is going to be set to find out what that solution is. And of course, we are going to be depending on the people that are involved in the actual industry to provide us with the information and have a cross exchange with community members on how that's going to transpire. And there's always this issue of price parity. There's always this complaint that we're charging 10 cents a liter cheaper or something like that, which is not true. We're always a few within a few pennies in terms of the price on the outside and internally over here. It's just that Quebec doesn't get its share. Okay, that's where this dispute comes in. And they're always saying unfair advantage. But you know what? We also have to put on the table a traditional historical argument. Well, damn it, we have been denied the use and the right from our territories for centuries now. It's not just a couple of years. You know, when I'm talking about the scenery, talking about where settlements are right now, call them settlements. St. Isidore, Côte St. Catherine, part of Chateauguay, and all that. And they've been making billions and billions of dollars for a hell of a long time on our territories. And here we have Quebec coming after us, you know, because of their citizens and our clients. We'll put it in that category. So we have to start building that kind of argument too, in the face of these decisions that have been taken by the courts that favor Quebec, you know. So it's going to be a long haul, but I'm still optimistic. I'm putting it this way: we can be really a thorn in the side, you know. Or we can be a foe, or we can be an ally. It's up to them to decide which way we're going to go with this, you know. And you know, and I'll be upfront about it. You know, the concern that they have about the reaction of this community in terms of any kind of demonstrations, you know, whether they're peaceful or whatever they may be, regarding the actions of Quebec or others, is something that that's always in our back pocket that they are concerned about.